Hey guys, welcome back to Hurstys Garage, and on today's episode I'm going to show you how to remove this radio here. It's an okay stereo, but it needs to go. So I'm going to show you how, step-by-step process, how to remove this, get this guy out of here, and replace it with something pretty cool. So stay tuned. Okay, first step in the process is pop the hood. Then you're going to want to remove the negative side of the battery cable. That's because on any vehicle you always want to make sure that you disconnect the negative battery cable, because you do not want to mess around with any type of shorts. Otherwise you could blow a fuse or something like that, and that would cause you a lot of headache. And a pro tip here is always make sure that you wrap your end with some type of rag or something so it doesn't accidentally fall down on the post and create another spark. Okay, then our next step is to remove this whole plate right here so we can get to the stereo down here. And what we're going to use is a plastic removal tool, and the reason why I use plastic is because I don't want to gouge the sides or the plastic right here, because this is what we're going to remove, this whole section here. You can use a screwdriver or something like that, but just make sure that you don't mar up this surface. So what we're going to do is go behind here and gently pop these out, and I'll show you that process right now. Okay, once you get that down or out, you want to swing it down, and these three cables right here, this one, and this one, go under their corresponding slots that you're going to have to take out. So like this one, it's in there like this, so what you're going to have to do is take your thumb and press on that little button down there and then pop these out. So this one goes here. Like I said, this guy right here goes in this little spot here, and this guy here goes in this spot right here. So you'll have to remove those. Okay, so after removing that piece, you can go ahead and set that aside. Set that down, and then move these wires up because you're not going to need them. Tuck them out of the way. And then what you're going to have to do now is remove this bracket, which is holding your stereo on. And it's these little screws right here. See if you can see that right there. And that's a Phillips head screwdriver, so just take a Phillips head and remove those. Next, remove these two screws right here. Then take your tool and remove this little bottom part here. Okay, now that that's off, there's two Phillips heads that you need to remove back here. Okay, now once you get to this point, you can just wiggle this back and forth until it pops out. And your whole unit is going to pop out, and then you're going to have more wires that you're going to have to disconnect in the back here, and I'll show you those. Okay, you're going to disconnect all these right here because you want to get this harness off of the stereo and the bottom part of this connection down here after you get these off. So remove these. Okay, now once we remove those, I removed all of them. Now we're going to remove these bolts here. Whoa, if I don't throw this on the floor, remove these bolts here with this special star Allen wrench right here, or bit, should I say, and I call the star one, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but they look like this. And we remove all these so you can slide this out of here, which is the stereo unit itself, but we're going to keep this, and this goes back in. Alright guys, the next step in the process is to take your head unit and to mate the stereo wiring harness for that head unit, put it in the unit itself, and then mate these wires up to your aftermarket stereo wiring harness. And this is the kit that I used, and I'll show you this in the description below so you can get the exact same one. But you need to mate these up with this right here, and I won't bore you with the details of doing that because I'm going to go ahead and solder them real fast. But here is a description on the back, a handy dandy description of what each wire does and where they should mate up with these on your stereo unit. And the stereo unit has the same things. It's got all the little descriptions on where they should meet up with this right here. So I will show you a still picture of this and you can see that, and then I'll come back and you'll see the finished product of these two being mated together. And voila, guys, magically it's all together and ready to go in the car. Here is the aftermarket adapter into the head unit's adapter right here, and I got it all soldered up and mated up and ready to go. And then all this other stuff, it depends on what radio or head unit you get. This is some audio video cables patched in, and then I've got some Bluetooth, or excuse me, some USB connections that it came with, actually two of them, and then a GPS connector, which is the back here, right here. And then mine came with an external video camera with the cable, so, and that's hooked into my connectors too. So yours might differ, but this is all good to go, and I'll show you it going into the stereo. All right, now it's time to put the head unit in the dash kit, dash kit. And this is the dash kit I got. I will put a link into the actual one that I got, but you can see it if you want to pause this video. And let me pull it out. It pretty much looks like the one that you get off the factory radio, but it comes with instructions if you don't know how to do things, and it actually is a pretty good little instruction manual. So I will go ahead and put that over there, and then you're going to need your innard stuff, the factory radio mounting brackets, and then this AC control unit. That's the one I told you to keep. You want to put that back in there, mount it back in the little spots here, and then this, you're going to mount your stereo in here, and then put obviously the faceplate in here, and then we'll stick it in the car. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, that was fun. I got my faceplate in, and I got it on, okay, focus. I got it on this little bit of plastic here just to show you so it'll stay up. But basically what I did, and yours might be different. You might get a radio that's specific for this vehicle. I just bought this one. It's a Benize 7-inch touchscreen, and I'll obviously have a link below if you want to buy this one for this vehicle. But like I said, this wasn't specific for this vehicle. So I had a little bit of harder time. All right, focus. I had a little bit harder time trying to get this in there, but I used the factory brackets that, or excuse me, these are the factory brackets. I used the brackets that came with the actual stereo itself, stuck those on the side there, and then added some extra bolts with some nuts, and then reused the ones that were from the actual radio itself and stuck them on the side over here to attach the bracket. And then to attach this bracket, like I said, I used extra bolts that I had in my drawer, and then put some nuts on the side here so it's nice and stable. It ain't gonna come out. And then you can mount the top part here, which is the dash kit. And on this dash kit, let me show you something here real fast. I had to, if if I don't break that. I had to go ahead and it looks like crap because it's so hard to cut these, but I had to cut this out with a Dremel tool because it wasn't wide enough to fit my faceplate. And like I said, you can get a faceplate specifically designed for the 2010 Nissan Maxima, but I did not. So this faceplate did not work, so I had to custom make it. And now it will work because, like I said, it fits on there like a glove. And then you're going to say, well, wait a second, it looks like crap. It's got spots and stuff in there. Well, this radio was nice enough to, or head unit, came with another little bracket right here, which goes on the top here. And when you fix this, bam, then you can't see it at all. And I don't have it all the way on there, but so it makes it look like a perfect finish and you're good to go. So I will show you how to plop this in here. And basically what it is when you stick it back in your car, all you're going to do is do the exact opposite. Put all the goodies, hook all the goodies back up, and I'll show you that. Then put all your screws back in there, down on the bottom there, and then put your faceplate on there and you're good to go. So let me show you. Okay guys, back in the car, and as you can tell, there's nothing in this spot, and this is where my radio needs to go. Okay, and before I go ahead and stick this bad boy in here for good, I'm going to hook up the back ends of these, like this is for that AC little box. I'm gonna hook those up, and then put a couple of the screws in there just to hold this in there, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the negative battery cable on and try this out first, because if you don't do that and you get all this stuff in here and it doesn't work after you put all your stuff back and made all the trim look great and all that, and it doesn't work, well, that is a big bummer. So please try it first before you get too much involved in this. So give me a second and I'll be right back. And before I get too involved too, I want to tell you real quick that all I'm going to do is going to be using this guy here, which is your antenna that goes in the back in here. And then of course, like I said, this is for your AC, this big guy right here. This talks to your AC unit. And then this is your factory harness for the stereo itself. You're probably wondering, oh, well, wait a second, Steve, I've got two of these left over. Well, one of these is for your mic and your Bluetooth and your steering wheel accessories to be able to talk to your steering wheel. Well, guess what? I'm doing this the cheapest way possible. These you have to get two separate things to make these work. So I'm not going to be using these. So obviously my stereo, I won't be able to use the steering wheel controls and a few other miscellaneous things, like the clock up here won't work. And I think that's about it. But anyway, if you want to, you can purchase these separately, like at Crutchfield or some other place. But that stereo control interface is really expensive. It's like 60-70 bucks. And then, like I said, then you have to also buy the other part here to use the microphone and the Bluetooth option for your built-in factory Bluetooth and stuff. So, and that's another 40-50 bucks. So that's the only bad thing about Nissan, is they make it really complicated, and I'm not going to use these, and you don't have to. You just don't get all your features. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to hook those three up back to here, and then plop this guy in here, and then make sure it works, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, I just turned it on, and like I said, I wanted to check to make sure that it was going to work, and it turned on. And then let's see if we get some music out of this thing. Alright, nice. Okay, I'm going to shut that off, and of course I'm going to show you, obviously nothing's reading on my readout because I don't have the actual dash part up there to read. So let's go ahead and put this stuff back on, and it's basically, like I said, the same thing that I did before. You're going to stick the dash pieces on and put the screws back, and I think there's only 2 more screws that you got to put back on, and then make sure that you connect these 3 guys, this and that one, when you put this guy back on here. Otherwise this isn't going to work. So hook those up and make sure that obviously you take the negative battery cable off again, because when you're hooking these things up, you don't want to create a spark or a short circuit. So unhook the battery and then put those on, and then I will show you what it looks like afterwards. Okay guys, well, as you can see, trim is in, and the top trim is in, and everything looks good. Now, I told you with this stereo, you're going to lose some of the features up here, and like the clock and all that. When you do turn it on, usually, oh, there we go. You do keep all your controls as far as the AC and all that, but up here, the readout, the clock and all that is gone. So when you do it the cheap way, yeah, you don't retain this. So if you want to spend the extra money and get the updated I said modules, then you will be able to keep all that. But I don't care about that, because I have this bad boy down here, which that's all I need. I have the clock and all that stuff. It all works. Let's turn on the radio real fast, and holy crap, that was loud. Sorry guys, that was horribly loud. Jiminy Christ. That was a negative. Okay, so looks pretty good. All the spots are taken up with like they should be, with all the factory stuff. Let's get some light on there so you can see. Everything looks really good. And then I put my USB ports down here out in there's a little spot down in the middle down there. So that's it. That's how you put your radio in. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, so go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell there, because I usually do these installs from time to time. So like I said, hope you guys like this, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace!